headphones on his hat, money counter on his lap, gold chain with a slap. Ripping crypto like a gat, see the chart, it goes flat. White headphones on his hat, money counter on his lap, gold chain with the strap, cashing out, hella clams, he got Solana in the bag. What's the ticker, where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab, blew the whole shot, didn't land another sell-off, we been had, not a single drop of liquid left. Bullish on another flip, by 1% it didn't slip. Bullish on another flip. What's the ticker, where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab, blew the whole shot, didn't land another sell-off, we been had, not a single drop of liquid left. Bullish on another flip, by 1% it didn't slip. Ripping crypto like a gat. See the chart, it goes flat. White headphones on his hat, money counter on his lap, gold chain with the strap, cashing out, hella clams, he got Solana in the bag. What's the ticker, where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab. Ripping crypto like a gat, see the chart, it goes flat. White headphones on his hat, money counter on his lap, gold chain with a strap, cashing out, hella clams, he's got Solana in the bag. What's the ticker, where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab, blew the whole shot, didn't land another sell-off, we been had. Not a single drop of liquid left, bullish on another flip, by 1% it didn't slip. What's the ticker, where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab, blew the whole shot, didn't land another sell-off, we been had. Not a single drop of liquid left, bullish on another flip, by 1% it didn't slip. I put the crypto on my tab, blew the whole shot, didn't land another sell-off, we been had. Not a single drop of liquid left, bullish on another flip, by 1% it didn't slip. Take the cat, ripping crypto like a gat. See the chart, it goes flat. White headphones on his hat, money counter on his lap, gold chain with a slap.
Here we go. I'm here, Tick. All right, hold on. Good, good, good. All right, let's get this party started then. uh, all right, good morning, everybody. Good morning on the YouTube live stream. And good morning in the live stream on X and everybody in the room, which it always takes a while for people to hop on in. And it's not that busy on X today at all, you guys. People are a little bit bearish on the market. People letting the daily influence their mood, right? And Wild here is still very much bullish. So let's say good morning to Tick. Good morning, Tick. Are you feeling bullish or what? I'm so bullish, right? Well, what we do, that we're going to look at the charts. We're going to do a little bit of the Bitcoin, and we're going to talk a little bit about Ethereum. Also, we found a little bit of alpha that you can mint and possibly win something. Sui in turn prompted us for this. He actually did the same with that DeLorean, and he got that time capsule. I'm so jelly. But yeah, let's have a look at that Bitcoin then, right? So we're holding this price zone. This is bullish. We're still very, very much in a bullish continuation, even though we start to, well, it looks like we're losing some steam. And I think it's just to scare the market a little bit. Um, of course, there's the FOMC tomorrow, which we can always heavily speculate about. It's either going to be the same or a slight chance of these interest rates coming down. And either way is bullish for Bitcoin, right? A little more bullish if the interest rates are going down. So, yes, of course, Trump had a little, you know, back and forth with Powell, of course, and I think he kind of was in some back room, right, going like, "Hey, my guy, you kind of need to drop those, right? It's due." And so, but yeah, if not this month, then September. I'm banking a little bit more of it on September, but there's a slight chance, just because I think Trump really put the pressure on him for doing so, right? He's been calling that for For ever since like April, March, and April. So let's see. Bitmine gets big. 1 billion buyback follows. 2.3 billion Ethereum hoard, and 5% Ethereum grab in sight. So I'm gonna read you this article. Okay, it kind of covers both. So Bitmine Immersion Technologies is kicked off with 1 billion stock buyback program as its Ethereum holdings soar past 625,000 ETH, worth 2.3 billion, cementing its position as the largest corporate holder of the asset to date. The company open-ended buyback also allows to repurchase shares via open market or private deals with no expiry. It's the latest move in Bitmine's escalating bid to accumulate 5% of Ethereum's total supply. 5% of Ethereum's total supply. Bitmine, oh, Bitmine to repurchase shares as part of long-term Ethereum strategy. So Bitmine is doing that Ethereum strategy, and it really wants that 5% of Ethereum supply. And which we all know that Ethereum is deflationary, right? Albeit it only in a bully run, right? Um, so there is that, right? Competitors are scrambling to catch up. Sharplink added 77 point 2 thousand Ethereum over the weekend, bringing its total to 438,000 Ethereum, worth a 1.7 billion. But Bitmine still holds the lead in what is shaping up to be the crypto space's most aggressive treasury accumulation race. Institutional accumulation and on-chain trends indicate structural bullishness for Ethereum. So currently, 6.7% of all ETH, or about 8.12 million tokens worth over 31 billion, is held collectively by corporations and ETFs from a strategic ETH reserve, right? The SER. So, yes, bullish on Ethereum. Of course, we saw that inflow for Ethereum. Ethereum is also one to watch if we want to have any measuring stick when it comes to our alt tokens. So, we are gonna watch what Ethereum is doing. Now, I kind of already explained in the days previously that Ethereum is dealing with a very much overarching trend line, puts a lot of pressure. It's a trend line that you basically can only draw on the weekly, and that makes for heavy resistance, and that's kind of why it is bumping against it and being rejected. But we're holding price well under. We're not seeing any punches in the face as rejections, right? We're seeing little slaps on the hand, and so a breakout above that is imminent, and then it is right up in that 4K. It's actually a little bit lower. It's under 3980, 3980, and so I will assume we are going to see a wick in there by the end of the week, at least a wick in there. So what does that wick then mean? Well, it means that the bears are there, right? And they are going to guard that trend line. They have been doing for a little bit now, but at one point, sellers are out of tokens, right? What we teachers always say, right? You can only sell once. Now you can keep putting pressure on there by, putting shorts on, but eventually the shorts will stack up and the market will do a liquidity grab and, liquidate those that are sitting at 4K. And so, we're gonna get excited by the end of the week, I think. But of course, there's always a more bearish scenario. Of course, the dominance is still up. It's creeping up little by little again, 61.5%. So, still enough to put pressure on the rest of the market. It seems that ETH is not carrying a whole lot. We saw that lead up, that build up of that already happening over May and June, and it didn't stop. So ETH is right now the only one that is not really being vulnerable to that dominance all too much. Although it's still there, cannot unsee all of that. So if we're looking at Bitcoin on the daily, we are moving again in this value area that we have seen and established since the 14th of July. So we're moving a good almost 2 weeks uh, in the biggest price zone. If you look on the daily, you see all these wicks on the bottom, all these wicks on top, but then the bodies kind of remain in the zone from 117.2 all the way up to 119. And 119, 120 is going to be the price to take for another breakout on Bitcoin. But people like this sideways movement to trade. People are trading this larger value area, which was 114, all the way then up to 120, and that area is being traded right now. And people love doing that. Sideways movement means you can make a lot of trades over that time. And the market, because we have that dominant size, is going to respond every time Bitcoin does a little up. Everybody's a little up. When Bitcoin is a little down, well, looking a little bit more down, right? That is because of the dominance cycle. So yeah, we do have some on the daily that I kind of warned you guys for. Uh, I do not give explicit financial advice at all. I mention tokens, and when I mention them, uh, it, you can do with it what you want. But I do not mention ones that I don't think are bullish or not going to make a move. So, in other words, I cannot say you got to buy now, right? I cannot mention tokens say, better buy now, right? So I did mention ESX now for about 3 to 4 weeks already, right before the first rip, and I called it again before the second rip, and so it's actually up 55% over the last 48 hours, which is a good job for ESX. Of course, they are going to get their listings too, and a very aggressive market strategy will unfold there while their blockchain is still in testnet. It is not even main, in my opinion, a blockchain sitting at a certain market cap that low. And there's no universe for me where this is not up only, especially in the coming time ahead in the point in the market that we are. And so, also as an investor, from an investor perspective, I think very, very interesting what they do in real estate on the blockchain, right? Actually creating a whole blockchain that is compliant with all of that. So, yes, if you wait now, I would wait now for a little bit of a better entry if you want to be nitpicky about it and buy in with 5 or 10% less. Wait for a little pullback then. But yeah, it's been great. I think that these guys, that team, is doing a great job. Right? Of course, they have Tether founder on board, so we should not be surprised at any of this. Not a meme token, utility, hardcore utility, very early uh, blockchain, layer one. So yeah, these this was my little market talk for this morning. SAE is holding price pretty well. Also, honorable mention for Tron. Every time I mention Tron in the space in whichever way, shape, or form, people want to FUD it. People come on stage. Oh, what did Justin do? And I'm just like, well, Tron is more than just Justin, right? And that Justin is painting the chart. Well, I don't think Justin is even that powerful to do. Mechanisms of Tron, everybody should just study it. Honorable mention, 10% of the day, and now a little bit of a drawback there. And that's a lot for TRX because it's always slowly up, 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 up. And some people fudded, they say. Yes, but it moved so slowly up that in about 2 years, yes, I'm still in profit, but how quick did that go? And I was like, well, you sound like a true degen, and you might be maybe better off buying a meme token and just gamble on that to do 1,000x in 24 hours. I do not know what you want. If for me, the easiest money around is to not even pay attention, just DCA. And at one point, you 10, 20x your money. Where in the hell can I do that in real life without having to do any type of work? This is a perfect passive income. I'm all about it. Instead of always looking and chasing for these next coins so you can make another flip, right? You don't need to. Let the money come to you. Let the volume come to you instead of chasing that volume. But yeah, you guys know where I come from. And I do like to DJ myself. I do. But it's never with the money that was meant for my portfolio. It's always with some gunpowder that I'm willing to lose, like going out in the city, having a good night out. You go to the casino, that money is considered lost. I'm having fun. I do not come there to make a fortune, right? I come there to have fun. All right, Tick, tell me about your day. What are you doing? I was very busy all day because actually I wanted to do a lot of work and be active and stuff. But I was actually babysitting a puppy of 3 months old, and I kind of got caught by surprise in how much attention that took away from me. Kind of wanted to chew on everything in my house all the time, and yes, I was distracted the whole day with that. Actually, tell you the truth, I'm a little bit exhausted. just just for running around a puppy all day. Oh my God, I can't believe I was thinking about getting a Shiba Inu puppy. I'll pass. I'll pass. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Let's look it up. On what chain? Oh no, I'll skip. There's no AI on Pump Fund. This is no. Let me get this straight. Pump Fund tokens. There's no developer. It's a creator. They haven't made anything. So the project can only be AI through a different mechanism that they add to the token. And then I need to think, how bullish is this? If we're looking at another freaking AI agents, I think I'm gonna just kill myself and jump off a cliff. I've seen so many of those. Mm. It's that good. But if it's that great, why the fuck would you launch a pump fund? Why not straight on radium? What is this? So cheap. But why are you launching a pump fund? There are even better platforms. They can go, right? It's like, well, who the hell does this? That's so, look, everything looks so Gucci and nice. You look at the website, everything looks fab. I don't know. We haven't tested their utility at all. But it's the, why are you launching on the pump fund, right? Why are you trying to be anything related to a meme if you have something like this going on? You go, and there's other platforms that use Radium, that use Solana, where you actually have some control over your tokenomics, because this is the okay, man, I don't want to get set off because it's just so bearish for the future to have a contract that is the same as everybody else's with a shit ton of sell pressure. Your LP is completely freaking burned. You cannot lock it and unlock it later and pay for listings. That's all out of the question. Where's that money then going to come from, Tick? That's what I'm always wondering. And is there, are they adding pools? Are they farming? What are they doing then? Why to generate income for all these things? Yeah, yeah. Okay. So how do they generate? How they do generate income to support the token? Where where for these things? Yeah. Oh, there you go. I'm sorry. I didn't want to fudge your. If I know you, bot, probably be a little less sharp. But still, though, don't aim. Yeah, this okay. So wait for that to cool down for. Yeah. Yeah. I if they can build this technology, why can you not build a custom CA and launch on Radium directly? Why you have to go on Pump Fund? It's, my hair stands up, right? Oh, on Pump Chain? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, you know what's up with that chain, right? Uh, yeah, well, you want to do some research there with that chain, that pump chain. But you know what? Look, if you believe, you believe. Yeah. For me, at this moment in time, aping around is going to cost me money because my ulcer are about to explode to Valhalla. And so I don't need any of that anymore, right? Basically. That's basic. We're in a point. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Take profits.
Oh, it starts to. Oh, Barry's website starts to give sound. It gives sound. I hate when that happens. It's like, where does this come from? Is there a UFO landing in my office right now? No, it's just a website. Um, yeah, no, I'll have a look at it because I'm actually interested then in what's the. So I'm already glad it's not pump fund because that would have been bullshit, Tick. There's no good utility launching on pump fund. If you are a developer, you can make your own contract and launch straight up in a pool, right? Why would you use especially a meme coin launch pad, if you have great people building great things? That this doesn't add up. Always sus. And you see a lot of these new pairs using AI narrative, while it has very little to do with AI, right? But just because they want to tailcoat that the narrative AI, which is going to be big. But it's so flooded that I need to do a little bit more research because I suspect that narrative is actually dying down a little bit, just because of the oversaturation that we experienced over the last half a year with a lot of tokens that are called AI, but is it crypto AI? Well, we can back to differ. But let's say hello to some people in the room because some people came on stage. And if you want to come on stage with us, you're more than welcome to. If you're a project, you can. If you're not a project, you can. Right? We're happy to pump your profile, pump your bags, whatever. Pump, pump, pump. Eduardo, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Wow. Good morning, Tick, and everybody here. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for the mic. Appreciate it. I always love the updates that you bring with Ethereum, Bitcoin, all that alpha. Definitely appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm very much a nerd. I really love looking at that stuff and then talking about that stuff for real. But I'm happy to have you here on stage with us. Let's say good morning to Crypto Confident. He's in the room with us too. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Wild. Good morning, Tick. I just came here to show support and say hi to you guys. I was a little upset though. There was no AVAX on the space title. I was like, oh man, I gotta jump in here and show
That's what's.
support for AVAX.
I'm gonna change it right now because I just was lazy. I've been trying to do stuff with a puppy constantly around me, wanting things, needing things, breaking things, peeing over things. So
It's
I'm
all good. It's all good. I'm just teasing you, but
yeah,
thank you if you're gonna change it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah,
That's
change
awesome.
it. AVAX,
You
AVAX.
rock.
I wish we could just put every chain up there as well. Let's say good morning to Mr. G. Mr. G in the house. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I was just going to share one. If a friend of mine asked me to do a deep dive on SolX, SOLX. I didn't know if you knew anything about that But yeah, thanks for being here. Love the updates and just trying to get more information. And you are the key for that.
Well, I kind of did, but I'm wondering now what that was. I'm gonna look up because I think.
Yeah, it supposedly was another. It was another, I guess, an AI on Soul.
I think isn't it the ticker? Isn't that wasn't it, isn't that some sort of layer two? I think so. Now I'm gonna have to look it up because now I'm gonna have to look at. Let me just look it
Yeah,
up.
I don't know either. That's I'm going to look it up myself. But yeah, the symbol is SOLX on Solarna.
Oh, SLLX because the ticker SolX is actually Solaxi, and that's a layer two on built on
Okay.
Solana. So confusing here. If we have two things, is the ticker SLLX? Yes, let's go from there because I see some different things. I thought it was a layer two on Solana. That was my guess.
Yeah, my apologies. I don't have that at my
Oh,
disposal. I was out on my walk when I figured I'd
oh
chime in.
yes, of course. Well, then we have to just go ahead and deep dive a little later on it. Let's say good morning to what is this? That token. I think
Hey, good
we're
morning, everybody. And
good
Eduardo, thanks
morning.
for the heads up on the space. Happy to be here, and
Yeah,
thanks for inviting me up on the stage.
you're very much welcome. How you doing? Who are you?
Hi-
How you doing?
I'm doing very well, very well. Just at work, wanted to stop in and say hi. I saw the title was Sui, Soul, and ETH, and I see you've updated it to AVAX, but I'm wondering if there's room for a little BSC up there too.
Oh, let's do it.
All right, on
Base chain.
Binance Smart Chain. OG over here, man. Come on.
Well, Tick, let me tell you that BNB, our last bull run, was the Solana what is now, right? I
That's
mean,
right.
we're looking for stuff. Base is still very much going. It is not going anywhere. There's actually
Yeah.
big tokens on there, big projects being built off of that. It's still running. It may not be
Yeah.
the chain, may not, and it was mine for a little bit. I was kind of having fun there. I lost a lot of money at the end of the bull. Right, I made tons, but I kind of lost what I lost. I lost there. Let's just stick with that. Just early
Yeah.
Degen flair on there. But let's go ahead and yes, isn't it?
Oh, geez, it's crazy.
Should have just bought Bitcoin or Bitcoin. So yes, I'm just shilling Bitcoin at this moment in time, right? Cheering. We all got to cheer on Bitcoin, right?
Absolutely.
We got to. It's the provider for all of us, right?
Yep.
Together
Yeah,
with
the
Ethereum.
market moves with Bitcoin.
Absolutely, and Ethereum as well, you guys. Everybody
Yes.
fighting Ethereum 2 months ago, and don't get me wrong, it is a freaking dinosaur. Even though it gets often some patches too, and a lot of people don't know about it. It is deflationary, only in the bull run, but it's everything is built on there. Every virtual machine chain, the solidity coding, right? It is 90% of the builders are derived from there. So you cannot ignore Ethereum, and I think it established itself as the number two. And I think that seed is pretty much a little bit cemented at this point in time. I think maybe later on, the evolution of crypto, we might see a shift there when Ethereum might get dethroned by something, but it's not coming anytime soon, and it's not going to happen within this year. So, is
I
there,
agree. Yep.
right? Right. So I take it you have a project on there and you're willing to chill. Now, listen up. We do have a live stream going on YouTube and also on X. So if you want anything to be shown on these visuals, then please inform Tick where before you begin your chill on where to go, maybe your website, you want to show your chart, et cetera, et cetera. Right. And so you can do your chill. You can start right now. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Tick, just so you know, and everybody else that's listening, I did just post something to the Jumbotron. It's got all the socials in there, the contract address, a little summary on what VET is about. Um, so if it's okay, I'll go ahead and seriously, let me go check that. Let's see. No, I cannot. Got it. Yep, I'm up. I Yeah, the website's fine on my side, but yeah, go ahead and try it. No worries. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, absolutely. I bought my hosting, my all that stuff on Namecheap, and everything's paid for, and for another year. Yeah,
I
that's
just
interesting.
went through my phone. My phone is working, so it's got to do something with the. Yeah. Uh, that's got to be it. Yeah.
There is something in there so that you can purchase. Yes, there's a. Yep, makes sense. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. No, I really appreciate that. I was not aware that that was flagged as anything malicious because it's not. It's just there is a way to buy tokens on there and you connect your wallet, which a lot of sites have. So I understand that. Yep. Thank you. It's actually under a revamp right now. We've recently kind of relaunched a redesign, and we've adopted a meme-ish looking military eagle with a helmet on. His name is Vet, but we wanted to kind of apply to the meme crowd. Although the token itself is utility, it's not a meme token in any way. So what we do is, it's a BSC token, so we do collect a small amount of taxes, 3% buy and sell. 1% goes to marketing, 1% goes to a dedicated charity wallet. And as that wallet fills up, I research a bunch of different veteran charities that accept crypto as donations. I vet them to make sure that the money that they receive goes to the veterans themselves, and there's not a bunch of overhead and stuff like that. And I post a couple different of those charities in the community, in Telegram, and the community gets to vote on which one they want to send the donations to for that time. I do post the links to the website so that everybody can do their own research, and that's where the funds go. Whatever the community votes on, that's where the funds go. I'm a disabled veteran myself. I was in the Air Force. I worked on I was a crew chief on the F-15. I I do have a disability from being overseas. There was a chemical attack on base, and I was affected by it. So what I did is in my time in the crypto space, I've seen so many rugs and so many projects that are only around for a short amount of time. I wanted to create something with utility that had meaning and purpose. And me seeing all of the veterans out there that suffer more than I do, I wanted to do something to give back. So I've created the veteran token VET to do exactly that. And I've also created a 501c3 nonprofit organization that will govern VET, and we can apply for federal and state grants to get outside money to fund the project. Additionally, I've created a partnership with Endowment. An endowment is a website that allows outside donations from anybody. You don't have to be in the crypto. You don't have to buy the token. Anybody can donate directly to the project through Endowment. We've been live since January 16th, I believe. So 6 months plus, 7 months plus. And we've made a pretty solid donation, $450 to Children of Fallen Patriots. And they take 98 cents of every dollar they receive and give scholarships to children who have lost a veteran parent. We have another donation ready to go for Veteran Companion Animal Services, and they take what's the word I'm looking for? Animals that what is the word? Oh my gosh, I'm totally lost. Anyway, that BC, yeah, sheltered animals, animals that need a place to go. They pair them up with veterans around the communities, and so they need help. They need funds. So we've partnered with them. I actually reached out to the CEO to see if they accepted crypto donations, and at the time they did not. So I explained to him, what I'd like to do is, send the money through crypto because I want to keep everything on the blockchain, everything transparent. And so I talked him through how to set up a wallet, and so he's in the process of doing that, so they can accept crypto donations. And as soon as that's set up, I've got another $250 to go to them. It's a little bit right now because volume is slow, and it's not generating the funds that I had expected, but you know I'm grinding every day to make this project successful, and eventually it will be. I just have to spread the word and get more people on board. And so I believe the narrative is good. It's real world impact, bettering those around us, trying to do more for others and give back and pay it forward, all of those things. So I think, when people realize what we're doing, and I say we, it's me, it's just me. I don't have any people on the team or anything, but when they find out what the project is about, they're going to want to support it. So just crossing my fingers that comes soon. January this year. It is. Yep. The Binance token, as well as a newer chain called Infineon. So I did dual launch.
Oh,
Um,
Infineon. I know, and I could have worked for Infineon. Actually, I was approached, but I do know
oh,
a lot
cool.
of people in my circle that work for Infineon at
Very cool. I'm
tech
good friends
stack.
with the four founders.
Really? Oh, how great! So we must be somehow connected that we don't know.
Yep. Very
Yeah,
cool.
there must not be very much people between us that we need to hop over in order to come
That's
to
awesome.
a conclusion there. Yes, yes. Well, awesome. So yes, bullish. Um, I'm really happy with projects like these that use crypto in this way. It's a very smart way. It's an area that crypto can also uh, uh, step into, right, and be utilized for. And especially with a little bit of a strategy like that attached to it. So yes, welcome in our space. Always to chill if you want to come by. We do this daily. And of course, we have the live stream up and we stream on X for people who are more visually inclined, right? And not necessarily want to jump on stage. But I love having projects like this. I keep going because the grind is a real thing. I understand that, right?
Absolutely.
Even teams for layer ones, there is the grind, right? And you must continue, right? But much respect and thank you for your service. And I'm really sorry about what happened.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I'll, as long as I get these notifications that your space is coming up, I'll jump on as much as I can. I appreciate it.
Let me
And I think
follow.
Eduardo's got a question.
Eduardo, let's go, man. Eduardo.
I think he may have just dropped
Yeah,
down
I
to a
made it.
listener.
Yeah, some glitchy things going on there. Some people DMing me like I can't get notifications. So notifications are somehow some are glitching for some people. So and we don't want to mention Elon's name too much in this space because
I wasn't going to say it.
that's when we get rugged too. Last time that happened, I said his name 3 times, and that was 2 times too many. So
Kind of like Candyman, huh?
Beetlejuice.
the Beetlejuice effect for real. No, I'm not even
Yep.
joking. Tick was permanently rugged.
Thi- This time, this time I have to say it was not Elon. It was my fat fingers.
Oh, okay, cool,
I've
cool.
pressed the leave button on my phone. I was like, "What the heck did I just do?"
That's great. Well, yes,
but
that's not
but
bad.
yeah, what I wanted to add is, I've seen Vet, showing up every single day since he launched. Pcoin, we also launched in January. And like I told you, right, Pcoin, is for the people in the trenches. And what I do is try to connect good people with good communities. And I see you guys doing this type of spaces. And I told him to, I sent him a DMA, pull up to these spaces because, this is the type of people that, that you want to connect with, because I see how you guys are actually, hosting and co-hosting, telling things straight up, telling it like it is, and being honest and humble at the same time. So I did send invites to other projects that I try to support as well. So hopefully they show up, or they start showing up to your spaces as well. So, but definitely wanted to give a shout out to Vet because he's been grinding. That man has been grinding all over.
I appreciate that, Eduardo. I'm
You
definitely
know,
down with Pcoin and I support you 100% as well.
that is great for collaborations and stuff. That's where your power is to connect. Really, network is net worth here in this space. That's the thing. Also, like I said, right, it's I think crypto can really make a difference for people who are for whatever reason, right? Not just because you were in surface, but maybe some accident happened to you and makes you unable to work a regular job, right? Or maybe you could, but you won't get picked because of what happened. And the crypto can be really freeing financially in this way. And if you find something in this space that you can fill in to do, right, to create an income stream, multiple even, and because it's rather passive, right? It takes some brain power initially, but it can be done for especially people who can't walk for whatever reason or are otherwise energy limited, right? Have limited energy to do things. So yeah, bless crypto for leveling the playing field there, right? It's all hail Satoshi at this moment. Absolutely. But you're welcome in our space. We're here every day. We're open, and so if you feel like it, just hop on board. And yes, we try and keep it real. Even Tick and I disagree, like that we disagree on things, and that it's fine to disagree. We're still friends, right? And but we can disagree on strategies and things. We're all different people, and it doesn't mean we're not friends. But yeah, we have a different view on crypto sometimes, and we learn from each other, right? So it's great in that way to have a conversation. It's just valuable. Well, it would be weird, right? It would be weird if I mentioned the ticker and you would be just insta bullish without questioning anything I say. That's wrong. You should be questioning what I say, right? Yeah. And so when you say something, I'm being skeptical as well. I'm like, what is this, right? So because you have to be. uh, We got to do our own research. Exactly. Right. And we can give you some heads up and some numbers, and you're getting my perspective. But always make sure you check these things, and check numbers for yourself, and check what things is about. I learned this morning in Lamb Space Lamb, and everybody welcome here in the room. I sometimes don't look at the screen too much on the phone that I'm streaming from here, but in Lamb Space this morning, Crypto Moonlight, he was mentioning a blockchain, and so I'm always off about the new technology, the speed of the TPS, the finality speed and stuff, right? And that's why I'm just so geeking out on Sui because it has all that, even though it's not EVM compatible. That's kind of the downside there. But there was this other token. I'm gonna mention it. I don't hold any bags there, but I just want to give um, let me just pull that up here because I did have made some notes on it because I want to keep an eye on it, and it just really really made clear for me that sometimes I'm wrong by looking at different metrics, right? And why? And I'm gonna show you why. Um, so it's called Conflux. So is it Conflux? Hold on, is it? Hold on, is this the one? Proof of work, proof of stake. Hold on again. Yeah, it's Conflux. I think it was Conflux. Yes. Hold on. Let me just see if I can pull this up. Yes.
Real quick.
It's con. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt, but
Mm.
Tick, real quick, what was that? Where do I go for the Phantom extension to check that out? Thank you. I tried to DM you and I don't see a way to message you, so I appreciate that. And sorry for interrupting.
No problem. Because good that you did. Because I'm going off on a little bit of a story with this. But at first, I want to say good morning to Lam because I don't get to say good morning when it's really his morning too much, uh, and too often. Lam, good morning.
Good morning, Wild. How you doing? I came up here real quick because I heard you talking about
Yeah.
complex. That is the coin that we were looking
Yeah.
at last
Yep. Yep.
night for
Yeah.
sure. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
So
good
I
morning to you.
I filed it under my nose as CFX, and I was like, "What's the name again?" Was it Cornflakes? Because my brain, yes, that's what a puppy will do to you if you need to watch it. Anyway, this Conflicts is like a public layer one blockchain. Now, and initially, Lam was telling me, "Why is this up so hard? Right? Why is it moving?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, let's have a look." And then I was looking at the technologies, and I was like, "This is like slow. Why is this right? Slow, proof of work, proof of stake. It's like a combination, but it only has 300 to 6,000 TPS." And the confirmation latency is around 1 minute, and I was like, "What kind of dinosaur is this, right? And why is it then moving?" And so, because we always look at these the newest techie tech, right? But it turns out this is actually so bullish, and for all the reasons that we couldn't ever imagine. Why is this bullish? It's a blockchain that operates and is actually geared towards the Chinese market. It's a Chinese blockchain. And I was just like, blown away by the amount of companies that are making use of this blockchain. It's McDonald's China, China Telecom, right? Oreo China, the whole city of Shanghai, right? Uh, there's like Xiaohongshu, right? And Anchor. So they have BitStore, their mobile Miku, and I don't, I can name like another 20 big companies making use of this blockchain. No wonder it is moving because it's being used. And I was like, how is this being used with this latency and this speed, right? But yeah, this is the one that is actually complies to the rules and regulations in China, and so this is what they have and what they're working with, and so therefore it's bullish, and that's a very different reason than the things that we always look for in these blockchains. And then sometimes you do got to dig a little deeper, and it can be something else that makes the whole thing bullish on its own, right? And of course, I said it before that we also kind of have to look for things that are applicable in countries, but we don't have a good scope. We're always bullish on the blockchains that are basically in our bias area in the world that we live in. So we're bullish on the U.S. tokens. We don't have much on the European side, so I have to be bullish on the U.S. ones, right? And the Western countries. But then there are things in the rest of the world that are being built that we might just completely overlook because we're kind of in our own tunnel. And so I was just happy to learn this morning that, you got to widen your view a little bit. And sometimes you just got to do a little deep dive and come up, with the reasons why. And it might not always be the reasons that we think, like speed and finality. It might just be because this is something that is built for what is the rules and regulations in China. And blockchains do have to deal with those. And that's why, let's say, XRP is not completely worldwide, right? And then many others. Solana is not completely worldwide. So it's very difficult sometimes for projects that want to operate globally or in some countries, and they kind of have to build their own blockchain because what we have is not compliant with their rules and regulations, and we see this happening to exchanges as well. So just to think that blockchains are being used all over the place all the time is not correct, right? It's not correct. So yes, really opened my mind again, learned something new, learned about a new blockchain and reasons why. And also very much learned that I don't get cocky on things and don't get, geek out on the speed and finality, which in our Western world is the thing that we really, really look at. And there's much more competition going on in crypto around that than, let's say, in China and Japan or India for that matter, right? But that it doesn't mean we should not be bullish on it, right? That doesn't mean we shouldn't be bullish on it. So, yeah, that was a great one, Lamb. And if my portfolio was not already stuffed and over full, and I actually got to consolidate, then yeah, I
Yeah,
might
it was
be
it
interested.
it was a accidental find, but I will
Yes,
say
there.
you're right. You're absolutely right with just the bias that we have. Like one could look at that, and if we didn't take like a couple extra seconds to kind of look into what it was, we would have no idea why that random coin from 2021 is bullish on the other
Yeah,
side of the world. You know?
it's an older one. It's not new. Yes, right. It's an older one, and it's like yes. And then to look at all these companies, these are not just little companies making use out of this. This is like and if any of you
True.
know, China is they have like this Cash App thing, which is Chinese Cash App, right? And they don't use cash anymore. It's very hard to pay with cash in China. They often don't have a change for you, and so everything there is digital and electronic. And so these things might be very bullish there, right? To because crypto is going to eventually seep into that area as well. Even though they might then want to address that TPS and finality, right? Because who's going to wait a whole minute or two with your little bao pao bun, right? Waiting to eat it. I'm also trying right now to figure out how much the market capitalization of this AI narrative is and how oversaturated that really is, because I thought that was very interesting to look at these numbers too. If you do not mind geeking out with me, um, possibly we might lose people when we start to uh, dig
Yeah,
up the
I'm
numbers.
down for that.
Mm, so I'm trying to look at some, come up with some numbers too. And I can possibly look at all the tokens because it's kind of now a wild west, right? So if I do okay, um, so the big projects, AI projects that are actually utility in crypto. So I'm not talking AI agents or AI image generated, video generator, or API generator, or whatever the hell is going on there. Then I'm just talking the key projects, right? And that is Render, Akash, Bitensor, Tao, right? Fetch AI. Yeah, these are the ones that we kind of knew. Their market capitalization was all together. All of these big ones together is 1.4% of the crypto market. There's very little. Um, to scope the rest out. But if you are into AI narrative, because I had too much of this AI narrative in my portfolio, and I kind of had to boot some out of there because I had too much. I needed to condense. And I also started to sense that the market was getting a little bit oversaturated with the AI narrative here. Like anything in its mother with AI behind it would then send. But yes, that might be true. But if there is within a week 1,000 more AI tokens that are not just crypto related, not any of these big ones that actually make a difference in crypto, then we should wonder if that is still a bullish narrative to hold if you're not holding any of these bigger ones, right? So yeah, Render, Akash. I don't hold Akash. I do have Bitensor, right? Fetch AI, Virtuals Protocol. These are all established AI in crypto that actually are either blockchain or further along technology using AI. So they have a crypto function with AI and not just image generator agent or coming up with market strategies, which, by the way, they suck, right? These market strategies built with AI usually are there's this AI bot on Solana. You could do the new pairs, and then it's kind of like you have to then tweak it so much. You might as well just learn how to TA and do it. I was just getting wrecked. I did a little bit of a test run with that with a few people, and just came to find out it was kind of like not giving any profits whatsoever, and was not responding like it should. So these trading things, I mean, it sounds really nice to have an AI tell you when to buy and when to sell, and eventually they're just looking at numbers and indicators and different things, right? That everybody else that does TA also looks for. So there's really nothing much that AI can contribute to these things at all. So we just got to watch that AI narrative. I know people are hot on it. It's just that I'm going to be a little bit, look at those a little bit with a little bit more scrutiny now, because it's so oversaturated and it's very hard to distinguish anything good from anything not so good, because I have seen really great websites, really, really cool looking, having a lot on there, not just one thing, but usually they have 4 or 5 things that they do, and then it turned out to be a wash anyway, right? So because their utility doesn't really hold up as AI utility, I guess, or because people just want to write the narrative quickly, flip a bag, just like new meme tokens, right? I started to get the feel like it's being treated like meme tokens because the AI narrative is just big. It's the number one narrative, this bull run. And so maybe the number two is going to be games, and we don't see a lot of those around, right? There's not that going on, but I just see that there's a lot of AI being launched that is basically, yeah, they want to just get on the hype train here, and it doesn't hold up to scrutiny as much, right, all the time. That's not to say that there are not low cap good plays here. It's just that they increasingly now become more risky because of that. So everybody just should pay attention. It's not a given that they're run. It's also not a given that it's not a rug, right? It's just everybody wants to jump on that AI trend. Just as it AI doesn't mean necessarily it's gonna, yeah, it's not gonna be rugged or farmed or these scammers. When they see a hype somewhere, they're immediately on board with their stuff, and they make it look really, really good too, right? So it's very hard initially to spot that it might not be something real or long term, right here. So yeah, just watch it with these things. Give it some extra thought, right? Don't insta ape. Put it on your watch list and just, especially if it's hot, wait for things to cool down a little bit. See where it goes then, right, over time. That would just be all that I could say about it. But it's got on my radar because people were sending me a ton of, can you look at this? Can you look at this? I get a lot of people in my DM, especially on TG. Oh, I just had requests. I get people with requests. Hey, can you look at this for me? I'm looking for an entry, right? Wild, can you help me out? TA, this and that, right? And if I have time, I'll help out. But there were, I just saw, normally I get like 30 DMs around that on a day, and I'm just getting increasingly more of AI tokens, right? Just newly launched AI tokens, older AI tokens, and it's like I just see that it's becoming increasingly more questions about these AI things, and some of them I looked up, and some of them completely rugged, right? So, yeah, just that's why I kind of wanted to look at it because I see also a trend in what people are asking me, right? And it seems like every from the like almost 40 DMs today, and 26 of them were about AI tokens. Yeah, that is a lot. So that's when I started to question a little bit, like, okay, how is this going to work for us, right, moving forward? We need to hold them up to scrutiny a little bit more because, yes, scammers will recognize AI as the number one narrative this coming season. So just be careful with these things because it's not all legit, right? And it's not all good utility. And so sometimes it is, but or it isn't, and it has sentiment, and that's okay too. Love it, hate it, but you can trade it, right? But if you cannot trade a rug is a rug, or a farm is a farm, right? You can't win there. Yeah. Yeah, put them on your watch list because 19 days is not long for a project at all, right? And you could still see like blockchain of 2 years old is still considered young, and they still got to prove themselves. The usual ongoings. Yeah. How many pools are added? This is what I always look for, right? Also, how many pools are added to that, um, and when you can check that out too often, right? So there's a rug is just selling on a chart, and then but they can be things like a slow rug. So I would consider 3 months to be a little bit more of a how do you say, a, a a window, yes, for these things. There's these fast bleed outs and slow bleed outs too. And sometimes when the project is one rally and doesn't pick up again, it might not even be a rug. But it might also be that sometimes it's very hard to get volume back on Solana because a lot of teams just give up too, right? And then you sit there being bullish and stuff, and they are just like, yeah, well, it's too much work. to get volume back, and we got to then spend shit ton of money on marketing that we don't want to do. So that's why it's always important to look for what is the token doing to generate income to support all that. That's why I'm so bearish on liquidity also being 100% burned, because it is very, you don't see that, you don't see utility do that, right? Why not? Well, they want to lock it for sure, right, to give the community feel like yes, it's locked. But when it unlocks, they can actually use some of that liquidity pool use as supply to actually pay for exchange listings, so they don't have to go reroute all of that, because there's no exchange that is going to buy it off your chart. That is the biggest myth out there. That only happens in the most rare bullish occasions that a Binance will. I think Pepe was listed this way, but how many Pepes do we get on average a year? Yes, right. No, I mean Pepe list like Pepe being immediately listed on Binance. How many of those do we get? That's very rare, right? Yeah, yeah. So a Binance listing is costing you almost, I think it's 35 or 45% of your supply they want, and they want a $1.5 million for a listing, and you got to go over there, be doxxed. So they will deviate from that if there's tons of volume and they want it, because that's what exchanges want, right? And so there's volume requirements for these things too. I mean, look, GoingGecko has volume requirements. CMC has as well. You gotta cough up money, but you also need to have volume. And so when your liquidity is pool is then completely burned, you cannot utilize that in any way, shape, or form. That's gone. But let's say that you had your pool open, and over the year you went from 1K to let's say 30 mil. All right, so now you can use maybe 5K or 7K out of the pool to pay for your listings on CMC and CoinGecko, something like, I'm just naming something, right? Or maybe a tier three, and then you relock the pool. That's a better way of doing it, right? Yeah, what's that? Yeah, are you allowed to open a pool? Yeah, sure, you must. It's a V3, right? Or V4? Where is their pool? Yeah, yeah. Well, you go ahead and do that. I see, Eduardo, you have your hand up. Hold on, Eduardo.
Yeah. I, normally when I show up to spaces, I'm at work and my boss is making me work at work. I pinned something in the Jumbotron, which is a little teaser of things that are going to be coming for Pcoin, the people's coin, which, like I said, is like Bitcoin, but for the people in the trenches. So just keep an eye on what I'm building, what I'm doing. Keep your notifications on, or just if you see me around, just keep an eye on what I'm cooking. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your share there, and hopefully you'll be financially free and have some generational wealth in the next coming 6 months, right? You need to, if you're locked in, right, and then one day you'll be just like, you know what, working out of here. Vet, you had your hand up too. I wish it upon you. Bless you, 100,000x, Eduardo.
Yes, Eduardo, awesome. Um, I actually do have to get back to work myself.
Yeah.
I've thoroughly enjoyed listening to you guys and coming up and speaking, so I really appreciate it. And I'm going to turn on the notifications so next time you have a space, I'll jump on if I can.
Absolutely. Everybody follow Vet here, right? Sounds like an awesome person. Welcome in our space at any time, and very lovely to meet you here today. Have a
Thank
good
Thank
you
you. It
day.
for
was
your
so nice to
service.
meet you.
He can run faster. The chart goes up faster that way. Let's go.
I see two on that image. I'll have to go back to my source image and take a look at it, but it looks like there's only two.
Maybe take
Um, let's see. Do you want to send it through Telegram? It's at Mr. Hodes, Mrhoads. First initial, last name. M. Rhodes. Yeah, yeah, that's me.
Tick immediately is like it's hilarious.
It's all good, bro.
Tick
It's all
Tick
good.
is Tick does not have filter. Indeed, yes, you just got to excuse that. I love him for it though.
Ah, see it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that looks good. Now, where did you find this banner? Because I have it on Deck Screener and I have it on the website. Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, I'll make sure that gets updated. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm going to look into that right away. I appreciate that. And so everybody else knows I'm fully doxxed. I live in the Pacific Northwest in Washington State in the U.S. Everybody knows me in the space. Sweet. Same time zone. Right on. Cool, cool. All right. Well, it's
Friends
been
in the
very
making.
enjoyable.
Yes. Tick is also so creative. I guess you already got the hint there a little bit
Yep.
with the no filter. And he really looks for that stuff, but it's really always helpful. And he's always cutting things up that we really like in the space. And then we're cutting it up and he's sending it to Instagram and TikTok. And he's being very creative with all of that. And he also just makes, just on his own for free, make some art for projects, little clips and little videos and stuff. And he's great like that, right? So a, a very
That's
gifted
awesome.
person in this way.
It is. Yeah. Right. Right. Pay it forward. That is awesome, brother. I appreciate that. Very cool. And in the Jumbotron, the my link tree is there, and it's got all the socials. It's got TikTok and X and Telegram, all that stuff. And like I said, the website's being updated. I just got to get back with my guy and finish it off. But it'll reflect the new vet mascot, and it'll have our Heroes Alliance 501(c)(3) and endowment, all those things, all right on the website. It's going to show the uh, the donations that we've already made, those kind of things. So it'll be updated. Cool. All right. Well, thanks again, guys. I got to hop off, but I'll be back on the next one as soon as I can. Thanks. Have a great one.
Thank you. Have a good day at work. Hopefully, also not for long. Yeah, sometimes you gotta go mine some fiat. You gotta go to the gold mines, right? Or to. I always get like the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Like, hey ho, you go like with your little packet, big ass to work. You mine some. Yeah, yeah. After work, you go. You mine some fiat and get some more magic internet money, right? Which if you are not, here's the thing. Here's the thing with Bitcoin. Okay, the upside potential of Bitcoin probably is going to suck for a little while to come, right? It's going to take a longer time than you might want to sign up for. But here's the thing: it's going to be used as leverage because there is not enough Bitcoin, and they're going to want your Bitcoin. So anybody who holds Bitcoin, people are going to hunt you down for your Bitcoins, and you can use that as leverage. You are coming then from a place of power, so it's good to have some Bitcoins. So, do you need to have lots and lots and lots? Well, yeah, right. We prefer that. But even if you get to own just zero point 0.1 Bitcoin, this already is going to give you a really, really good position financially in about 5 to 10 years as leverage or collateral for real estate and other. We are going to go there, right? So it's kind of that important. I just can't say it enough. I'm always saying it in every space. A dollar Bitcoin today keeps poverty away. If it's not for you, then it's for your legacy that you're building, right? And so you got to do it. Your portfolio should have a little bit of Bitcoin. And I know I'm always upside potential talking. I'm a utility. I love all that stuff. I'm an investor in this way as well as a trader. So I do get that the when you look at Bitcoin, you're just like, yes, well, it's so much for one Bitcoin. It's expensive. Yes, and it's going to get more expensive. But don't worry about the expensive. Worry about the rarity of Bitcoin. That's a whole different story. So, in that way, Bitcoin really stands out. So, you really do need something. Are you just having your hand up for the culture here, Tick, or what do you take? Sure. I just join in. Mm, I'll just do it too. Yes, me too. Well, let's do it for culture. What? All right, calm down, calm down. Oh, cool. Oh, but it's not the first one. There are many others that do that. Yeah. Oh, Okay, so, yeah. So here's the thing with with these AI analytics, because I tried like a ton of them myself. But you can have AI analytics, but what does it mean and what does it say? That is still not clear, and it is not even clear to AI. Exactly, right? Hmm. Okay, so here's the thing. So still, you're gonna have to deal with what does the information tell you, and then some things in for some utility is bullish, and for some utilities, some things are happening in the same way that they're happening for the other token, but for them, it's bearish, right? There's still this aspect of the technology behind, and even AI cannot catch that, right? So that's hard because that is kind of um, that needs to be programmed. So it's only good as the programmer in this way, right? Because you have to ask AI the right questions in order to get the answer. And you cannot just say I see many AIs fucked up this way, especially with calling futures and calling volume, right? Because yeah, because there's these aspects to it that are, if you ask AI to look for, if you ask it the wrong questions, it's going to do one blanket thing for all of the projects that you put in, right? And it's only going to do that blanket thing. Yeah, it's very black. It's so black and white that for trading, it's not just that nuanced, and also to research, also no nuance, because you can if I just that conflict layer blockchain is a perfect example of this. How something that any AI program would consider that bearish, but it doesn't pick up that it does function in a country that is they have their that complies with their rules and things around crypto, right? So for them is super bullish. Why should we not buy this, right? Well, AI might tell you yes. Well, it has this and this and this, and you look at all the technicalities and stuff on it, and then why is chart ripping then, right? And so you can only find that out by asking the right questions, and these are questions AI is not asking about projects, right? They should. It's as good as the data we feed it. And if we leave one data out, you get a different picture, and you might get a wrong picture, right? So here's the thing. Then overall, it might work 60%, 65% of the time. That's decent. But I've yet to see an AI trading thing or a future trading thing that can call 80% of the time correctly. It's not there. It's not there. And might get you wrecked, right? Especially on the futures. You guys careful with those. Oh, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yes. Hmm. Yeah. Also can be volume can also be manipulated. There for the longest time have been big groups, especially beginning of the bear market, the end of meme season. There were big groups, and I'm not going to name any names. Some are still active in the space, but that actually made like a TG group or an X group, right? And you know all these tokens on Mexi, the graveyard of tokens, right? All these meme tokens, and they were just dropping below a certain market cap, so sub 50K, but they were still listed, right? And so they would check out a few of those. Then they started with a group to buy one by one because they realized when they did so, when they just had the price spike for like 20 or 30%, Mexi would then send an alert to its users like, hey, this token is up 20 or 30%. People will then start top blasting because they got the notification and thinking this was going to full port. And then they would dunk on these people and just rug it all over again in this way. So they kind of use that system too, right? And so a volume, if you have an AI volume indicator, can also lead you to different things that you don't want. right? And I guess that's still happening. So, I mean, the scammers shall scam, right? And I was just like, well, it's kind of clever that they found the hack for that because Mexi was just giving notifications of how much tokens performed, and the best performing 24-hour tokens were getting and giving out notifications, right? And everybody who gets notifications is like, oh my god, that is up 30%, it's pumping hard. Let me get in. Yeah, and then but nothing happened. And, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so the conclusion here is that AI cannot keep you safe from all of that happening because they manipulate the volume. See, and we know we manipulate volume because there's volume bots. So it's fake volume. That's why we have trending bots, right? That are made with AI too, by the way. Some some good ones, right? And they put volume in there so they can have it then trending on decks or trending, or get these notifications out of the performance of these tokens. But it's not volume for people who are buying. It's a bot creating the illusion of volume, and it's used as a marketing tool. And we can argument that right or wrong. From both angles, there's arguments for it because there is a volume demand for listings. There is a volume demand for marketing because everybody is just so freaking hooked on volume and then chasing volume while my strategy has always been in a bear. If it's low volume and alive, I'm buying. And it might be low volume, but if I see buys and people DCAing in, if I see wallets that just buy or, every now and then they just put in their bid, right? This is like, oh, there's something to it. I should look at this. Because the opposite of no volume is a lot of volume. Just wait for that to happen and because you cannot keep bullishness down and sentiment down for long this way. But you can be caught in the trap of these AI turbo signals. I had like a turbo signal. I once looked at it, and actually, like 60 or 70% of the time, it was a token that was like doing that quote unquote faking volume, and so useless, right? And it was a token who okay, they were like the volumizer or something. It was some catchy name. Also, an AI a narrative token that came out with that. And initially, I was like, oh, it could be bullish, but then it didn't discriminate between bot volume and other types of volume, right? And either in the other types of volume, it can be something like the people doing on Maxi at the time, and I guess they sometimes still do, faking a volume, but not using a bot and just using a group of people to do that. So just be, you got to be careful, right? Either way, with using these things like that. I see a crypto confident. You have your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for hosting this space. I have to leave, but I want to leave gracefully. I appreciate you giving the opportunity for people to talk and get known in the space. So thank you, Wild, and thank you, Tech.
I appreciate you, crypto confidence. Yes, I appreciate you so much. Have a great day ahead. Try and enjoy because I think we're looking at some more green after Wednesday. I guess people are hung up on that FOMC thing. Um,
All right. Yes, indeed. Enjoy the day as well. Thank you.
you're welcome. Welcome. Thank you. Yeah. You. That's the thing for crypto, my guy. People will trade on. The interest rates for the Fed, right? Yeah, yeah. What was that again? Sorry, I didn't catch the last part of that. Mhm. Yeah, you guys just gotta. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what it is. Taking this time in the market. I said it in the crypto moonlight as well. Double down on your picks here. Double down your picks. If ETH is flying over 4K, all the alts are gonna have a party, right? And that is just a thing. And that's gonna happen sooner than we think. So you need to get ready. You need to lock in. And when we say lock in, it just means that the time to FIFO around is not right now. Maybe later when you actually made money, made gains, you might want to just, I'm gonna happily FIFO around with you guys, not with all I got because I've got to buy my island, right? So still responsibly. But at the end of these rallies, then the meme market will heat up again. Then the NFTs will heat up. So get some, to start minting when that happens. It's not clever. You need to pick your ponies right now. Good projects, long-standing projects, right? So not anything new. And the same goes for your tokens right now. There are fire good memes out there. If you're just hung up on the memes, there are memes that are absolutely going to move with the market, first mover memes. And you should be in those because these are first mover memes. They either have a ticker that is first mover related or something like that, but it's got to be like that, right? It's got to be either a blue chip or something related to the blue chip that really pulls up, and you got to have identified those already, right? Because you're gonna get it, 2xing shit will get you wrecked, and then you later on when the rallies start happening with your picks, you would have been like, let's say, I hold Solana. I could have bought more Solana than that ridiculous little meme token that I tried to 2x. Stop trying to stop. Yeah, yeah, mm, yeah. No, it's new. I got it shilled, and I look at the people who shilled it to me, and I'm not buying for shit. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not here to fudge your bag, but when you've been, yeah. Well, I see yeah, I see some people pushing it. Yeah, yeah, it's claiming. Yeah, yeah. The people yeah, the people buying it are all about paying off their own debt. So I don't know what we're trying to do here to begin with. It doesn't make any. It's well, there might be something to it or not. It's just that sometimes I see certain people who shill it, and I'm not bullish on those. And so, because either they uh, pushed things that were obviously in that direction, right? And so the odds of this being the same is then higher. So That's why I said just keep your friends close, but your enemies, quote unquote enemies, right? Even closer, because you need to have them around so you get to know what to avoid then instead of what to possibly look into to buy. There's not a friend of mine in yeah, a friend of mine in crypto. They are not hard shilling anywho, right? They're like, hey, Wild, look at that, and then I know what's up. I should pay attention, and they expect me to do my own research with this. And if I ape and make a fall, I ape a top. That's my own fault. I didn't do right. It's not on them. But these things I don't know. And especially your dad should be looking at a robust portfolio with things that are just gonna send. Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's great. Yeah, that's great. Maybe not. Yes. Well, might as well. Yes, Bitcoin is more important this way. But look, that's great. Like that, and these five are all you need. Just DCA in your picks already, right? Don't. It's very hard to manage too when things are getting these green candles and stuff. It's very hard to manage. You guys, everything will go off quickly, and if you hold like a ton, like I do, I even need to condense. I had 46 in my portfolio. It's too much. So I'm just every day I'm looking at things. And then I hold like 50 meme tokens. I even not looking at those bags, right? I'm not even looking at those bags because that's too much to look for. I'm just the ones when I see a wallet has money in it, I'm probably gonna just sell, not even look at the chart. That's basically what my tactic is with that, right? Because you cannot keep up. You cannot keep up. So it's got to be manageable. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna regret this. It's the easiest 5 to 10x there. Boom. Yeah. I told you. Yeah, but it's yeah. So it's kind of smart of them, right? Kind of smart that they built that Solana pair because they're chipping away the volume. But it also, when you basically make a Solana pair, you're also exposing yourself to that panicky trading that happens on Solana. And you kind of see that with this thing happening too. Right, so you want the volume, but the people on Solana are just panic traders to begin with. So you get a lot of people if the chart is down. That people were heading into because I spent a little time in that TG and the people were in that TG thinking this was a meme token that they bought, right? That it's not. It's like no, right? So yeah, so that is funny. So a lot of people are just not knowing, not looking even, and it's just scary how many people there are like this scary. You guys don't be like this, right? Time is your friend also in crypto, and even now that we get a little bit to up only season, I possibly September is going to be a little bit more red. You always some red before the market bumps, but yeah, just you gotta suffer through that then a little bit. And time is your friends. There'll be dips to buy. These are blessings then right before we head into quarter 4 with all of that. So, you don't need to be doing that. Time is really your friend. But most of the time, when you see these tokens move and you got a whiff of them or a notification around them or everybody's talking around them, usually it's a top signal to begin with. And if you look at your trades, you would be seeing that you would have bought a lot more tops than you did dips there, and that's just because of the FOMO. I mean, there's nothing more that confirms that that was just pure FOMO moves, and these are bad moves to make, and just it can be very relaxing trading. It should be very very boring. It's not at all. What people think, they just sit there and just be anxious all the and on top of it. And if in any, it should give you some joy about, well, I called here the bottom and now we're doing a rip. I mean, I'm happy my TA on ESX was checking out perfectly. Right? So I'm happy about that. But otherwise, trading is so boring. I set my orders and there we go. I told you not to trade that, right? Yeah. Well, look, it looks like it wants to be double bottoming it out on that sixth round, right? No, no, it does not look like a good buy. No, it looks like a fake out, and because it's in a bear trend right now on the higher time frames, so you gotta watch out. So what looks to you then like a bull flag is actually, so we talked about it on June 23, in June, right, when it was making that pull and did a pull, and I was watch out because it's in a downtrend. And so when you see that flagpole, that big candle move up, right, a green up, and then it starts to flag. And it looks like a bull flag, but actually it's a bear flag. How do we know it's a bear flag? Well, because it shows up on a bearish um, downtrend. Yes, right. And so you always got to, when you trade for futures, this doesn't matter so much because I can trade the value area. For futures, you're trading the value area and not a pattern, right, per se. So, yeah, maybe a channel, right? But that is a channel of value areas that you just determine, and then you can trade your futures inside that area. If you're trading swing trades, you never to pick the end of a flag, what looks like the end of a flag, because if you even if you determine if it's a bull or a bear flag, so let's say we determine that it has a bull flag, you still want confirmation of a breakout before you take the trade, because a breakout will indicate volatility then to the up. And so, yeah, you could have gambled it at the bottom of that bull flag and have 5% earlier entry or 10% earlier entry. But if that thing is going to do 30-40% over a couple of days, then you might just want to take 30% and be sure that it does that 30. Because if these things break to the downside, you're immediately stomped out of your position and in a loss. And then you need to stop loss, right? So, so why would you take that trade? Especially in the downtrend, you never take these bear flags unless you're looking to do a short. So for a future in the short, that would be something to wait out then, and be, because 80% of those are gonna just break down to the downside. Yes. So so very for positioning yourself for a swing trade is always to the up. So these, to distinguish a bear flag from a bull flag, is going to be important for you, and you just got to put it in a 4 hour or daily time frame, and then see if we're in a downtrend or uptrend. If we're in an uptrend, it's a bull flag. If we're in a downtrend, it's a bear flag, otherwise known as bull trap, right? So it traps the bulls that think this is going to move. Look at this flag, we're going to go up, right? And then it breaks to the downside, 80% to the downside, because the trend is your friend till the end. And so the trend is down, so we're breaking down, right? You need to wait for a full reversal, breakout, a confirmation of that breakout, and then you can take the trade as a swing trade. Jesus Christ, that ESX is just hauling. What's happening there? I more. Yeah. So I bought at 0.006625. I bought again Pico bottom on the point 011035. Had an order there that was picked up. I didn't even realize I had that order, but kind of picked up. And so right now we're trading at 0.020979. And that whole move is up 84%. And it pumped that in less than 3 days. Yes. Hauling. Under 100 mil, a blockchain under 100 mil. What a find, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but also this is just a month. This is just a month old. So there is the resistance. What type of resistance would that be, right? Yeah. Would that be resistance that we coming all the way to retest point 0.012 again? No, right? because it's not an older chart would do that, would send you down a little bit harder because it's harder resistance, it's older resistance. Price probably moved there a whole lot longer and a lot. And so here, and when we're looking at 2-2, it spent there a total of 3 days, right? That's 3 day resistance. That's not a whole lot of resistance. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Yes. So there is some type of trend line that I can deduct from here to here, but we broke that trend line already, and a young token can do that, right? So if I'm looking for any rejection over there, we might want to bump on that trend line and send it back to 17 again, right? 0.17, something in that area. That might be the next move we're looking for here. But the thing is that the market is overall a little bit more red, except for Tron. Tron is freaking TRX is freaking toot toot, right? But so it really catches eyes right now in the market too, and that always helps these tokens pretty much, right? Because when you're pumping as a utility, as a blockchain, and you're pumping 10, 20, 30% on a daily, you're gonna stand out. Everything being slightly red, right? A few percentage in the red or slightly red, you're really going to stand out either way. So people, this is, most of this is also a little bit of that FOMOing in, like, oh, but that trade is going, so I'm going to jump on there. So the rotators will rotate then into where the volume goes. So never chase volume. You need to have your bag in already, so volume can come to you. Yes, volume needs to come to you. It's a power position. If you're going to chase volume, you're going to lose your money. You need to have volume come to you. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Ruling. Yeah. A little bit less on my charts because I open a little bit earlier, so I have a different close time. Right. Let's have a look at Ethereum because I'm for all of the TA, the rest of the tokens, we all need to kind of now look at Ethereum, not just Bitcoin. But we're gonna mine that Ethereum, especially, the 2 hour. It looks. Hold on, put a different thing on this. There we go. Let's go. Yeah, we're not yet moving in oversold conditions, in cool down conditions for Ethereum. But it doesn't have a lot of big candles going down, right? It's also buying and selling are all kind of small, and so it is going to do that cooling down with smaller price impact, right? So we're not talking a 5% down, but we'll bring that fourth or 2 hour down to oversold conditions. But um, it's pretty much a little candles. It's going to look dramatic on, like, let's say a 15-minute chart, but you don't need to look at a 15-minute chart. We're going here for 4 hours for a daily, right? To look on Ethereum. So yeah, it's holding a floor that corresponds really well, because if you put it on the weekly, you see that that was kind of a zone that we took, right? We took a zone that has been price touched in 24 and 23, 22, 23, I say 23, 24, right? 21, and then again half a year in that 21. So yes, right, price moved there a lot. So where it just looks this looks like it's resting on these where it flipped bearish in these years. So it's resting on those. So that's a good support. And then the next thing we need to do is jump over that trend line. And when that happens, the alts will all believe, all of that will start to believe Ethereum hardcore broke out, and then we can get some freedom there, right? For the rest of the alts, getting some money from Ethereum this time, getting some money from Uncle Ethereum. from Vitalik. Vitalik is gonna give us some bread for our other alts later on. Yes, right. Let him cook. I kind of don't want to see him cook, but no thanks. Vitalik sandwich. You have it on screen too. I'm gonna check it out. Check it out. I only carry Farcoin. I'm just so bullish on Farcoin. It's so fun. I mean, I'm just getting ready to stick it right to everybody. Like, yeah, you know what? Farcoin. Let's have a look, Tick. Everything's moving slow because I have like 56 tabs open. All right, I'm gonna play it too. Was it sound? All right, here we go.
3 fart burgers, please.
All right, that'll be $69.
Oh, I have the sound off for this tab. Hold on.
$9.
3 fart burgers, please.
All right, that'll be $69.
Are you effing kidding me? I only carry fart. So Lonnie, let her rip. See me down below the X with the tip. Where's the alpha? I'ma send it in the minute.
It is $69 too. That is great. Wow, it's crazy. Yeah. Sure, sure. But enjoyable. I like it. Yeah, funny. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like weird. Yeah. Yeah. However you did, you came up with that AI. I'll just roll with it. We'll just roll with it. Yeah. So, oh, it sounds like some good alpha. Mhm. Yeah, very. That's some cool stuff. I just bookmark that. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. He's the G goat. I don't think so. I think we covered grounds here for the last 2 hours. I kind of wanna have dinner. So yeah, so yeah, maybe some dinner. Still got to do some chores because I'm running behind. So yeah, never sitting that puppy again. I have a lot more work. Yes, I just babysit, but that was a lot. I mean, the thing didn't want to go to sleep. At one point, I was like, "Yeah, you just want to go ahead, and, like, go for a nap now, right?" But No, it was just vibing with everything that I basically own in this house. Like, seriously. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Yes. Well, I think little kittens are better because they are so easy to potty train. Like cats are just, puppies are just all over the place, man. It's just like, and then when they get excited, she was just at one point, she was so excited and just started standing and then wiggling the tail and just peeing. Yeah, I didn't think she even noticed. I was like, oh my god, not on my floor. Yeah, but then you walk outside and they don't do anything. It's like, well, we were outside now. Come on. So potty training and stuff is a little bit, but it's going to be a help dog, right? It's going to be a function. Gonna- it's a service dog. Is going to have its training. So it's a poodle. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, well, it's not weird. It's going to be like an emotional support service dog. But that stuff costs like $14,000 to train. What? No, euro. So it's even more expensive. Yeah, 14,000 euro for for the training and the certification for that. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah. So I got a whole paper. She was like, "Oh, are you willing to babysit?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. It's fine to have a puppy and stuff." But then I get a whole list of what I should and should not be doing with the puppy, right? Because she cannot do it. Yeah. So they cannot have squeaky toys. They cannot have. There's a shit ton that's on there. I was like, "All right, this is even more difficult babysitting now." So, but yeah, there's a whole list of things and the commands. They start that stuff right away with these dogs because they cannot get distracted and everything, right? So it's. But yeah, puppy is nothing but distraction the whole time. So it's actually a lot of work having that to babysit. I kind of was like, all right, that, that's more than I thought I was signing up for. But cute, right? So cute. Yeah, you're not allowed to pet them a whole lot either, right? You pet them in a certain way only, and it was kind of like, okay, that's weird. Uh, So, but yeah, it's like I was talking about a Shiba Inu having a Name Shiba Inu, so a mini Shiba Inu. They call them. Yeah, the dog. Name. So Name means bean in Japanese. A bean Shiba Inu. So it kind of like it's a miniature Shiba Inu. And yes, but they still have a double coating. So a double coat means that these dogs are pretty much not for tropical environments. They need to go through seasons, right? For their fur coat, and so they're going to be suffering if you take them to anywhere tropical where eventually I want to be, right? So if there's not clear seasons, these dogs will be just like a husky. You have a husky on a tropical island. What are you doing? These guys love snow. They love cold. They love the seasons, right? They love to swim in the summer, but they love the snow, and they are built for that. And but now that I had the puppy over today, I was like, yeah, never mind it all. I'll just look at cute pictures. And maybe if I am on some island somewhere, maybe some stray will come to my house and decide it will adopt me, and that's perfectly fine. We can go there. Maybe we should just let that play out, right? Yeah. Yeah, the dog is already used to climate there and everything. It just walks on your property, be like, all right, I want to live here. It's like, okay, buddy, that's what we're doing then. Yeah. That's kind of how all dogs came to me that I had in my life, which I didn't have many. I only had two, but they kind of came to me in that way, right? Somebody's left a 6-month-old pup in front of my door. Yeah, yeah, they left the puppy there. And it was kind of like in front of my door. That's fucking cool. Yeah, that little yeah that little thing was horrible. Yeah. You didn't want to, but then it happened. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, gunk. Yeah. Yes. Look, people who, yes, exactly. But people do that to other people and children as well. So so you can, yes. There's some sick psychos walking on this earth, right? Yeah. 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 Or even worse, right? So, yeah, right. It's hard. No, you don't. What you don't want to in nor shoot you because the majority of the world is not like this, right? The majority of people are not like this, but I just wish that people would think before they take pets and take children. Uh, and these are responsibilities at least for their lifetime, if not your whole lifetime. You see the same with birds. So I have a cockatoo, right? A coffin cockatoo, so smaller cockatoo, and she was abused as well. But these get to be like 54, 55 years old, and an African gray can be like 80 or 90 years old. So they're gonna possibly even outlive you. You need to have plans for that, right? If you're 50 and you're taking like a baby parrot, well, you better make sure somebody in your family wants to take care of that, or else it's gonna suffer, right? And a lot of people don't know what it takes to hold a bigger bird like this, and they think it's fun because they can talk and stuff. But the majority of the birds don't actually talk, right? It's only some, and sure you can teach him things, but the bird that I have just says crack when he was a cracker, and that's all that comes out of its mouth. And females tend to speak less than the males do, but it's just some don't even get to speak, never ever. And then they're like, yeah, well, bird is broken, and let's just abandon it. It's just for for people's own pleasure, and they think it's fun, but they make a lot of noise and they make a lot of mess, and the bigger birds do, right? And they trash your house. A parrot will destroy any trim that you have around your window or door if you leave them at it. They can. A cockatoo can snap your wrist in two. That's the power they have in their beak. They will take the trim of your door, and you blink with you're just, oh, bird is just nibbling, and then you come back and then half the trim is gone. They will get at it. Yeah, yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, especially, and then you see some videos and they put them on little kids and stuff. Like little kids hold the big macaw or the cockatoo, and macaws are a little bit more gentle. But these cockatoos are emotional birds. They can come out of nowhere and start to throw a freaking rage fit and attack. Right, if you react wrong to that. Yeah, yeah, fucking bite your jaw off. A coffin, yes, coffin cockatoo. It's like an ugly looking one. It's the most ugly cockatoo you can ever imagine. Yeah, yeah. It looks like it hasn't slept for days. That's basically how they look, and that's how they act too. So, yeah, real, real. It's like it's perpetually pissed off. It looks that way. It kind of is that way. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah. So my daughter flies from when she was very little, 4 or 5 years old. She would be into birds constantly, not puppies, not cats, not dogs, but just the birds, and not just birds, but birds of prey. And so I took her to a falconer, right, who works with birds of prey, owls and eagles and all sorts. And so she was going there every weekend, flying and taking care of these birds of prey. And if she wanted an owl and she wanted an American uhu, I was like, no, that thing is like 3 feet tall. We're not gonna have that at home. You keep forget about that one. You can get a little budgie, right? And so we started with a little budgie for indoors, and so yeah, and then Olaf the cockatoo came along. She wasn't even that old. Was still considered a little bit of a baby juvenile thing. Still making very much baby sounds and stuff. And but feathers already plucked out and stuff, and just neglected all around. And maybe that's why she's so. I don't know why these people do it, because she's pretty timid for a cockatoo. She's pretty even Steven, right, with her emotions and stuff. Could be worse here. And she hardly makes noise, and that's really unusual for cockatoos. Yeah, they usually can. They are the screamers, right? They will scream and throw a fit out of nowhere, and it will sound like they are conjuring up the devil or something. It really sounds scary when they do get angry. But yeah, and then another stray came our way a couple of months ago, right? Was found outside. And somebody knew that we had birds and was like, yes, nobody came for it, even though it had a ring and a register. Nobody fetched it. And so after a month, they were like, yeah, we cannot keep the bird here. And so we have another little one. Yeah. So we got three, which is, my daughter takes care of them. She loves them. I'm just here for their entertainment and toss them a cracker sometimes. They don't like me to begin with, by the way. Birds are very much attached to one person. So they basically tolerate me, but when my daughter comes in from school, they will look at me like I'm dead at that point, because God just came home, right? Literally, God is coming home. He's, oh my God, she's home, and they're all like all over her, loving it up. And they never do that with me. When I open their cage in the morning, it's just like they're grumpy AF, right? Even if I feed them, they kind of tolerate me holding them and doing what I need to be doing with them. But my daughter can do everything. They play with her, and they bring her stuff, and oh my God, it's hilarious. And when I try and do that, they look at me like, what? Yeah, it's funny like that. But yeah, birds are a different thing to have, right? And also not easy. I think any animal that you keep in your house, there's nothing as easy. Uh, uh, they all need taken care of, and they all need to you need to clean extra, right? There's all these things that come with the package, and I think people should think about that a little bit more sometimes, right? All right, so this turned into like the animal show. Tick, are you still with me? Because I'm gonna just gonna play the outro here. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Uh, I'm always so delighted because I see you doing all that work on the live streams, right? And so there's actually like a lot of people watching the live streams, and because we had such a boring topic, people are leaving the room. But there's actually like 10 times, sometimes even 20, 30 times more people looking at the live streams and listening there than they are in the room, which I think is brilliant. Yeah, just looking at your visuals and stuff. But I'm gonna play the outro because it's really dinner time here. And yeah, let's go. I'll see you all again tomorrow, right? Yeah. What's the ticker? Yeah. What's the ticker? Where's it at? What is the ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag, send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fact. Got a runner on the map, so line of sniping like a gat. And the SOE is moving quickly. I'm gonna squeeze them where they at. I'm trying to bring them Mimquins back. 1,000X is gonna land. I got it chilling in the back, and the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's the ticker? Where's it at? Yes, thank you everybody again on the live streams here in the room with us, right? We'll be back with you tomorrow, and don't worry about it, right? The pumps will come. Let's go, Tick. Always bullish. You guys don't even want to know what's coming in the next months. Let's go.